Hello guys, most welcome. This is the LSG series, and we're bringing you a lot of inspiring, motivation stories. The impact of sportsmen and women on the globe, on the sports scene has been massive, especially from the Ghanaian perspective. Now, today we get to tell a story of a man who perseveres, who never takes a no for an answer. He keeps moving on and never allows anything to come on or stop, his growth and his path. When you talk about snow, we don't have snow nowhere in Ghana. And so to be able to go to the Winter Olympic Games and compete, at that level, the tedious, qualification part and everything you need to be able to put in place to be able to reach there is not only an achievement. It's great to be able to get there. And he's just been telling his Instagram followers a lot about the season, very hectic season which just ended. Akwasi Frimpong is our guest on LG series today. Second Ghanaian competing at the highest level of Winter Olympics, the skeleton, and the first African to have won a skeleton competition anywhere else in the world. Akwasi, most welcome to the program.
Thank you so much for having me, sir.
Okay, right. Let's start first with the skeleton bit. The first African to have won a skeleton event in the world. I saw that on your Instagram. I was really proud to have seen that.
Yeah, that was actually here last season in Park City, Utah, where the U.S. team had the original competition, and there was a section that was for the international class, as they call it, and I won that event, and that was big for me because there were some athletes in there that in the past were beating me at competition, so it was great to be able to have a good race and have a good result, and most importantly, to show that people from warm countries such as Ghana and Africa can actually do well in winter sport.
Wow. All right. So let's just talk a little bit about your season, which just ended. How will you describe it? It was full of thrill and action. I've seen the photos and I've seen the videos on Instagram, and you did a PB, which was massive.
It was a lot of high and lows at the same time. Day in and day out, it was very challenging. Normally, I stay in North America for the season, and this time I took on the challenge to collaborate with the Russian skeleton team to be able to get better as an athlete. So I followed them this season to Europe, which was a very expensive season. But I learned so much from them and from the coaches. I was learning new tracks. Just to let you know, in track and field, as an example, all the tracks are from the same size wherever you go. Typically, a 400-meter track is the same. Yes, the surface may be a little bit different, a mondo or tartan, whatever, but the size is the same. In skeleton, the size of the track is different. The steers are different, and everything else is different. So for me to be able to go out there and learn these new tracks was good for me, but definitely challenging with a lot of injuries and a lot of crashes as well, but we're able to make it happen.
All right. So obviously, I have on the screen some of the photos from your event, and I'm sure you can just walk us through it and maybe just give a little bit of explanation and background to it.
This is definitely me, my proud Ghana skeleton race suit that I used at the Olympics. I love the colors, especially the yellow to show, what we all stand for in Ghana, and obviously the other colors from Ghana as well, the red, gold, green, black star. So that's me posing at a photo shoot for beginning of the season.
Wow.
And you saw also me racing at the Olympics as well in one of the here with my rabbit lion helmet that became very famous during the 2018 Olympic Games in Pyeongchang. And this was me at the finish, making it down for Ghana and Africa with pride of competing in the sport of skeleton and making it to my biggest event ever in the sports, my highest achievement in sports, making it to Olympic Games.
Wow. I'm in Uppsala, Sweden right now. And a couple of weeks ago, some friends encouraged me to get out. And so we went on a ski slope. And, I surmounted my fears gradually, and I was able to go all the way to the top, and then we just slid down. And I think they call it was sledging or something like that. I just love every bit of it. But when I looked at it from the first point, I just felt scared. And so when I see you down this slope, this alley, how do you surmount your fears?
I have to tell you, sir, that it's definitely a phase you have to fear. It's not the same as the saying of a bicycle. It's just like getting up and down, falling, getting back up with the bicycle. This is actually you putting your life at risk, going 80, 90 miles per hour with your chin only about 10 centimeters from the ice. the G forces like 5, 6 Gs, like an airplane, the pressure that you feel with an airplane. That's what we feel by sliding. A better description is having 5 of your best friends on top of you while you're going head first. That's the amount of G force that we feel. And it all comes so fast. So your brain has to adapt to it. Like every cone is different, shaped differently. The height is different. The speed is different. So you have to really, really be sharp and ready for what's ahead to come. And sometimes, bad things can happen. And yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about this photo? At what phase of the event are you here?
At the start of the skeleton sled, the skeleton course, the first 50 meters, you have the sled that goes into some kind of a rail, and you have to push the sled about, it's 50 meters. We push about 35 meters dive on it, but you have 50 meters to get ready before there's no more, groove, as we call it, actually. There's no more groove. Now you have to navigate the sled down yourself. So this is where we push the sled, a really important part of the sport. That's also why I was recruited into the sport, because of my speed as a former track and field athlete.
We'll talk about being a track and field athlete shortly. But this is another one, Altenberg.
Yes, this is the World Championships. Yes,
this is the World Championships. Okay.
But this is one of the Russian coaches helping me at the start.
Okay. Okay. I mean, this is their stuff, and so it means if you're going to get there, you need their expertise to be able to help you get through.
Oh, absolutely. It's no joke compared to what these other countries can accomplish with resources, with coaching, having a track to train on. This is a whole different ball game. Again, like let's say, not any sport has a challenge and difficulties, but in our sport it's extra difficult because first of all, I was not raised with the sport. I started very late at the age of 30, 31. Most started, 15, 16, 17, 18. The Germans even much earlier in the season. And when you're going so fast, you cannot really see what you're doing. So now you need a team around you on the track to film every corner so that you can know what you're doing in these different corners. The coaches to tell you the steers that you have to do. This is me with one of the Russian push coach who was able to help me to push 3:10 faster this season because of his instructions and his coaching. So I have like 10 coaches now with the Russian team right now.
10 coaches, wow. They really love your story. Way back in the 90s or the 2000s, I watched this Jamaican movie, Cool Runnings. And, I got so inspired. I was thinking maybe next time I'll also have to go out there. What inspired you to take to the sport?
The inspiration comes from, obviously, first of all, my love has always been track and field. It's what I was raised with, what I was recruited. I started track and field since I was 15. When I was 17, I won a gold medal in the Netherlands as a 17-year-old for the Junior Dutch Championship, 200 meters. I was training for the Olympic Games as a track and field athlete. Missed it in 2012 due to an injury where I was selected on one of the Dutch pre-Olympic 4x100 meter relay team with like Sharendi Martina that you might know, and Patrick van Luik and those athletes. I missed the Olympic Games. And then in 2014 with the Dutch bobsled team. So the way I got into winter sport is that I was recruited by the Netherlands team due to my speed. I was not interested at all, to be honest, to get into winter sport. But my wife convinced me as well, and my family about having a second opportunity, having a second chance for going to the Olympic Games to still use my speed as a track and field athlete. So I got into it to try it out. And then I started falling in love with it. And I started to see the challenge and the funness of it, the thrilling, the adrenaline rush. And then I also realized that I could do something very special. I could be able to inspire people in my country as well about getting out of your comfort zone, trying something new. Soccer is great, track and field is great, boxing is great, and I love all these sports, which I watch a lot as well. But I wanted to also show other people that you can use your talent in various ways, and you can make a way for yourself by finding something that you can be good at and finding something that you can fall in love with as well.
We see it here with the Nigerians. Does this might be got Pyeongchang?
This is Pyeongchang. Yeah, this is actually us this is a great picture, great memory. This is us in the bus with different nations getting ready for the opening ceremony. Here they were taking us from the village to the opening ceremony arena. And this is the Nigerian Olympic team, the bobsled, the first from Africa to ever do bobsled, woman and man. And this is a great team and a great story as well to show the rising of Africa in winter sport.
And recently you've been inspiring a Gambian to also take to the sport.
Yes. After the 2018 Olympics, I've been reached out by a lot of countries, not only from Africa. I'm talking about today, I received an email literally from somebody from Morocco who who wants to get into the sport. I've received emails from people from Greece, but definitely a kid from Gambia who's actually competing right now as well. Amado is his name, and Grabelli, and he's a great young man, and very exciting for his future in the sport. And we also have a kid from Togo and Ivory Coast, and now we have 2 Ghanaians as well that we're trying to get involved as well. This season has been a little bit tough with COVID to get them on the ice, but we hope next season to get them on the ice. We need more Africans to be on ice and to show our God-given talent, and to show that we can do whatever it takes. We can be there as well.
All right. I mean, so we see the good sides, we see the photos, and we get excited by it. But what is the significance of competing at the Winter Olympics? What does it take to get there?
Winter Olympic Games, I think, compared to Summer Olympic Games, is extra tricky as far as skills and discipline and resources and stuff like that. Again, not every sport has its challenge as well. Like I said before, every sport has its own thing that you have to learn together. But winter sports extra because first of all, the materials are very expensive. You know, to go ski, to do skeleton, the sled is very expensive. Like summer sport, like track and field, you need like a shoe of $200, and obviously you need to be able to have a coach and to be able to travel to the competitions. But skeleton comes on top of that. You need to know how to slide. You need to know how to push the sled. You need to know have the right coaches for steering, for pushing. You need to have the materials such as a skeleton sled. You need to be able to go to like many different tracks to learn different courses. So the extreme sport and not starting it at the very young age can make it very tough when it comes to winter sport. It's very skilled, extra skilled.
And so let's say, how much did you spend to be able to go through the various qualification stages? In your case, I mean, you were about the only African who got through, and it was because you had done most of the competitions.
Yes, and so the 2018 Olympic Games qualification was that you have to have a minimum of 5 races on 3 different tracks in the world within 2 years. Obviously, I did many more races than that. I did like every season, I do like 10, 12 races. It's to make sure that you know how to get down safely. And so there was a spot for Africa, which is called the continental spot or the continental representation spot. As long as you were top 60 of the world, plus having 5 races on 3 different tracks within 2 years, I got the spot for Africa. But that has totally changed for 2022. Now you have to qualify the same as the Americans, the Russians, the big nation with all the resources. There's no spot for Africa, and top 60 is not enough. You got to be like top 45, top 50, because now there's 5 spots less for the men for Pyeongchang. There were 30 spots. So the challenge to make it to 2022 is extremely, extremely hard.
Wow. So how are you getting on, for 2022 with COVID, with the challenges that's coming at your way? How's it been going for you?
It hasn't been easy mentally for me or any other athletes, or just for people globally. I mean, you don't have to be an athlete to know what's going on right now. On top of that, to be an athlete, to be able to go to the gym like you usually do, not to be able to have your coaches with you all the time like the way you want it to be. It has been extremely tough, but we trying to find ways to make it happen. We're trying to find different ways to work out at home, work out in the garage, in garages of the hotel, work out in the hotel. You have to plan really well. You cannot procrastinate at all, because otherwise you're missing a lot of time and moments to practice. So right now I have good sponsors, luckily. Never enough, but I'm grateful for the sponsors I do have that are supporting me. My biggest sponsor right now is the Ghana National Gas Company, which I'm super grateful for. They have stepped in since last year, and they are doing a great job to support me as an athlete from Ghana. I'm super proud that I finally find a sponsor, not after so many years, from my country supporting me in winter sport. And I also have Forever Living International, which is supplement company, aloe vera, the biggest aloe vera company in the world. So I'm grateful for these sponsors. And I also have through the Ghana Olympic Committee and IOC scholarship as well. But more is needed to actually really make it happen. You need a big budget to be able to actually, for me right now, to follow the Russian team everywhere, to get the training from them. I get free coaching now from them, but I need to be able to be there to be able to get access to them and to be able to go through the different tracks in the world to be able to compete.
What kind of budget are we looking at?
Well, you were looking at a minimum budget of $80,000 a year to even just get on the course and compete and be able to do a lot of different things. But you were talking about if you really want to make it to the Olympics, if you really want to be able to compete with the best of the world, have all the resources, you're talking about physical therapists traveling with you. I mean, I don't have that. This season was very rough for me as I was injured and not be able to have access to a physical therapist who's supposed to be with me to help me get ready and fast. So now I had to go pay, $150 a day to be able to hire a physical therapist on tour with me. And so you're looking at a budget, like if you really want to do it well, like at least $150,000 to do it really, really well, to be able to get to that level. And it's at a minimum to be able to go to this Olympic Games. It's going to take a lot of resources to do that. But again, we work with what we have and we do the best with what we have in our capabilities.
Okay. Well, right in your T-shirt, we have what, Ghana in 60 seconds. Yeah, Road to Beijing 2022. Why Ghana in 60 seconds?
Yes, so when I started the sports in about 2016 is when I started the federation for the Ghana Bobsled Skelton Federation. And as I was competing, I know that most of the course, you finish anywhere between like 52 seconds and like 62 seconds, depending on the different course, all different, the length of the course. So I came up with a thing like Ghana in 60 seconds, basically getting down the track within 60 seconds. So that's where the name comes from. And Road to Beijing is to basically to show the journey and that we are going on with everybody, with Ghana and with all the supporters supporting this second Olympic trial that I'm going through.
Wow, wow. I mean, I just love the branding and how you carry yourself on social media. You're very social. I mean, you put enough stuff about yourself, which is getting your audience always excited. You're responding to people's comments, answering questions here and there, and all that. It's amazing from a communicator. I mean, I'm doing masters in communication studies now, and a journalist in that respect. How did you go about this? What is your strategy? How do you just want to brand yourself, put yourself out there?
To be honest, first of all, I know that I'm African. I know that I'm competing in a sport that's not well known. And so it's so important to, there's so much noise out there, so much going on in the communication world with, sponsors and things like that. There's just so many good athletes out there. There's so much going on out there. So to be able to stand out, you need to be able to have a solid brand. For me, the most important thing is focus on my own story, to be able to help people or basically take people on a journey, not only telling the great stories of winning competition or competing, but also the injuries, the tough moments, because it's all about storytelling and being authentic as well. It's tough sometimes to put yourself out there. That's not easy, but it's again, the road to Beijing or the road to that success, the road to wherever we're going to is to tell that story. And as you tell that story, it becomes authentic, to be positive, to be relentless, and to show tough moments as well. So again, I needed to stand out. I needed to stand out as an athlete competing winter sport from Africa who doesn't get enough attention because it's not typical. It's not traditional. And to come from Ghana as well, as Ghanaians, we need to do better in sports as far as branding ourselves to be able to be out there. And now I've been able to, globally, I'm recognized as an influencer, as an inspirational speaker, and I take it from Ghana to global, Ghana to the world. And I think it's about being yourself and telling your story. And I think that's where it all starts.
I was reading something from the great Larry King recently when he passed on. One of the comments he made to a student audience was the one thing he learned in broadcasting was to be real with the audience, tell them the truth. And and then they will fall in love with you. They'll understand this guy's a very real guy, and so it's something that I pick quickly from you. But what has been the response of the audience to you?
Wow, it's been overwhelming. Every year, like it keeps growing as far as like the private messages you get, not so much the likes and the comments that maybe you see, but the private messages from LinkedIn to Instagram to Facebook to Twitter, like people being really inspired by my journey, being inspired by what I'm doing. And that's for me, it's very important. That's kind of the legacy that I want to leave behind for my daughter, the legacy I want to leave behind for people who are looking up to me. And it's very important to be you know, you helping others, you are helping yourself as well. You know, and I think that's very important to be able to show that and to show that journey. And I've been getting some really, really like amazing response from people that want to do the sport, or people that are just inspired to continue, that are giving up on their own dreams in whatever they're doing. Is it school? Is it sports? Is it work? Is it being a mother or father? Whatever it is, people are inspired by what I'm doing. But I don't look at it with that attitude of like, oh, how cool. Every day is a new challenge for me as well. You know, every day I put myself, you know, there was a quote yesterday I put out there, and I said, one win is not enough. You got to challenge yourself every day to get better. And that's what I'm doing. The fact that people are following what I'm doing is great, but I'm not just doing it for them. I'm also really doing it for myself, for my family, for my daughter. You know, I want to leave something behind to inspire and impact my family, and obviously people watching what I'm doing as well. So I'm also doing it for myself to be accountable and responsible, and to go after it, like to really work hard and to not give up, you know.
It's been quite a story. I mean, I read a little bit about you. You actually grew up in Kumasi, immigrated, yeah, and I just want you maybe to revisit for us your association with Kumasi, with the Netherlands, with the USA. So it's been more like a triangle, you know, moving. And you're the guy who never really stops. How did it start for you?
It started to be, first of all, that I'm a proud Ghanaian. I was born in Ghana, in Kumasi. To be exact, we come from Amekum roundabout. That's where my mother, Esther Mako, people might know her as the gospel musician of Michimu Ponye Bone, or He Can Do It.
For real? No, for real?
Yes,
Esther Mako?
Mako, yes. So you can see where the relentless hard work comes from. So that's why I was born in Kumasi. My mom left when I was about 3 years old in 1989. I was born in 86. So I was about 3 years old when she left Ghana to the Netherlands to prepare for a better future for myself and my brother Kofi. And so we were raised by my grandmother, Efia Menka, who raised me and my brother Kofi, and 8 other cousins. You know, we slept on concrete floors, had to share blankets with each other. Water was dripping from the ceiling. You know, I remember in Ghana, the only time, Christmas time, you know, is a really a special moment, because that's the time you get a full bottle of Coca-Cola or a full egg, you know. So those are some fun memories that I have from Ghana.
No chicken to go with it? No chicken?
Not in our house. Not in our, that chicken was luxury in our house. You know, there was too many kids. You know, my grandmother sold her traditional kente cloth, you know, to be able to feed us. She worked so hard for us, and it makes you want to work hard too. You know, seeing a grandmother doing what she's doing, like, I mean, it would be really bad from my side to give up, to not to work hard. And one of the things I always remember from Grandma Menka was, you know, as at the age of 8, she put me on my lap. She put me on her lap, looked into my eyes, and she said something that I will never forget. And she said, "Akwasi, what you need for success is already in you. It is a matter of believing yourself, having the will to work hard, and to never give up." And anytime I wanted to give up, I remember Grandma Minka's voice, to not give up, to keep going. That doesn't mean that you don't have hard days. That doesn't mean things are easy, but it means that you have what it takes to be successful. And I have that from Ghana. I have that from my roots, to work hard, to not give up. And especially when you get a chance, you take that and you multiply that. And then we moved to the Netherlands. Like I said, we were illegal immigrants in the Netherlands for like 13 years.
Wow.
That was it. Sometimes I felt like mentally tougher than living in Ghana, because you had access, you see things that you have access to, but you cannot use. You couldn't go to school. You couldn't get health care. You know, my parents had to pay so many lawyers to keep us in the country. You know, bullying and things like that. And yet still, I found a great community of people around me as well. And then at the age of, I think 21, 22, I got a scholarship to Utah Valley University in the USA in Utah.
Wow.
And that's why I went on with my track and field sports. And I went on to follow my dreams as an Olympian as well, but to make sure that I also had a steady, that I was also going to school as well. I graduated marketing with a minor in business management with honors. And Yeah, and here I am, still in the US training for my second Olympics.
Did you link up with Leo Mills at any point in time at
Yes,
Utah?
yes. Leo from BYU, Brigham Young University, also a great legend in the sport of track and field, and he has given a lot back to the community here in Utah, as well as in Ghana. I'm not sure if he's still coaching, but I know that past couple of years, I know that he was involved with track and field in Ghana as well.
Yeah, great. So I've looked at the bio, the part that talks about London 2012 and being one of the key things for you then. You wanted to qualify, really qualify for the Olympic Games. Tell us what happened.
I was really, my child dream was to go to the Summer Olympic Games. I love track and field. I love running. I love, it's really my coping mechanism. When I had so many things going on, sport was my coping mechanism. So I really wanted to prove myself that I could do it. And I had so many obstacles, so many injuries. First of all, the first injury is that in 2004, I broke an ankle. I broke a little fragment in my ankle, in my left ankle, and no doctor wanted to help me. So that already was really challenging for me because I was an illegal immigrant. I couldn't go to the hospital. And then obviously, fast forward coming to the US and finally kind of making it to the top of the Netherlands ranking, I was invited by Troy Douglas and some other coach from the Netherlands to train for the London Olympic Games. And I had a bad injury behind my left knee, a tendon. And tendons, they just don't get enough blood flow. And that definitely pushed me back. I trained with a team as well, to make it to the Olympic Games, but I didn't make the final team, the top 6, to make it to the Olympic Games in London. That was devastating for sure.
What did you get doing after that heartbreak of London? It becomes very key for me and also for those who be watching this program, that yes, life might not always be like this. A straight curve where you keep going up. There will be things like this, and there will be heartbreaks. But what happens when it comes your way? How do you respond to it?
First of all, you understand that defeat is not the end. If failure was the only last step in life, there wouldn't be something called success. We sometimes failing, or some people don't call it failing, but these challenges are a step towards whatever God has planned for me. God has his own plan for me. I can try to do whatever I want to do, but he has a plan for me, and his plan was for me was a different direction. So for me, first of all, of course, I was devastated. I was angry. I was mad. But then I know that I had to turn it around very quickly. I had to turn it around to make sure that I continue that journey of my dreams of going after my goals. So I was invited to be part of the Dutch bobsled team. I was recruited to be part of the Dutch bobsled team pretty much right after the Olympic Games to try bobsled as a brakeman, pushing the sled for the pilot because of a sprinter. And first, I wasn't a fan of it. I was like, I don't know, winter sport. I want to go to the Summer Olympic Games. I don't know if that's something that I want to do. But then I realized that it was a second opportunity, and I definitely took on that opportunity. And then it also didn't work out going after the Olympic Games for 2014 with the Dutch team.
Yeah.
We had 2 bobsleds, but only one qualified for the Russia Olympic Games, for Winter Olympic Games. And I was part of the B team. So that team did not make it. I became a second alternate for the Netherlands, but nobody got injured. So I stayed home, and there for the second time, my Olympic dream was gone. And I think that was the second time that I was walking around like Quasimodo, hang on my back, my head down, very, very sad, very frustrated. Like, is it ever going to happen? Yeah. I'm getting older, things are not happening anymore for me. And then, so then 3 years later, I was recruited to do skeleton and by the same coach.
Wow.
And then I could choose to compete for the Netherlands or for Ghana. And that's when I realized that I wanted to do something very special, something to push me even more to go after it. And that's when I chose to compete for my country, Ghana.
Well, you introduced a very interesting element there on faith, and God wanted to go. What role does faith play in your career as a sportsman?
It's the fundamentals in my life. It's the number one thing in my life. I believe that there is a God, and I believe that he has a plan for all of us. And I also believe that he uses us as an instrument in different ways to be able to bless other people and to be able to inspire other people. I also believe that God puts the heaviest burden on the shoulders of those that can handle it and carry it. And it has been tough for me, and it has been heavy on my shoulders, believe me or not. But I trust in God, and I trust in the process, and I trust in the plan that he has for me. And that's what I try to follow every day. I realize that when things happen, I tell myself there's a reason why it's happening. Wait to see what God will use this moment to glorify his name and to be able to impact other people.
Mm. And what impact does your mom have, on you? A gospel musician, a gospel musician's son. Certainly, there's some link somewhere. What does it tell you?
Staying on the right path, choosing to do the right thing, be merciful, be grateful, be humble, and I think that my mom has done a great job in raising good kids. She hasn't had it easy with us. We can be stubborn as well,
Yes.
especially with living in Europe and thinking that you know it all sometimes. But she has sacrificed for us, and I'm super grateful for my mother and for what she has done for me and for my siblings.
Okay, so I mean, you just see it right there on screen. There's this bit I really want us to touch on. Your Ashanti. I mean,
Yes.
talk about it all over on Instagram. She's beautiful and adorable.
Thank you so much.
Did she paint that?
Yes. This is supposed to be Olaf from one of those Disney characters.
Okay.
And we went on a date together a couple of days ago, because for months she's been planning a date with her dad. Since I travel a lot, in the summer I travel engagement, and in the winter I'm gone for sliding. So first of all, a big thumbs up for my wife. She's the real MVP. She's the one that carries us and keeps us on the right path as well. But this was me and Ashanti a couple of days ago on a date. When we went to, we made breakfast together in the morning, then we went out to a trampoline park, we had lunch together, then we went to paint together as well. So this was us outside, her posing the paint that she made.
Wow. Okay, and you're expecting baby number 2?
Yes.
I think I just got this right. The photo and the question, just brilliant.
Yes. Yeah, you never know with a woman. I've made that mistake before, so I'm always very careful. Yes, we're expecting baby number 2 in April 2021, and we are grateful. We are blessed. It's been taking us a while to have our second baby, so it's not that easy, for us to have kids. But we are grateful to be able to have a second kid. It's been taking us. Well, we've been trying for like a year and a half, almost 2 years, and we've been blessed with one now. And this will be our second baby, 4 years apart from Ashanti. Ashanti was born April 17, 2017. And this one is going to be born sometime around April 25th. So they are exactly 4 years apart, and well planned as well for the Olympics. So now I'm home on time to keep the baby and then train again for the Olympics for the off season.
Yeah, you just recently celebrated your birthday. It was on the 11th of February.
You are an incredible journalist. I have to admit that. The research that you've done and the thing that is, I applaud you for that. It's very cool to see all the stuff that you do. So great job on your side. But yes, I just turned 35. I don't feel that old. I feel even more strong, even more powerful to keep continuing. And I'm grateful for another life or another age added to my age. And I'm grateful to continue this journey with my family. And I always celebrate my birthday on ice because I competed that day at the World Championships.
Oh man, a workaholic man. and he was just so far away from them. But when you start talking family, then the importance of your wife becomes even more, because she's the one who holds you together. Maybe I'm even trying to answer the question for you. What can you tell us about your wife?
Let me tell you, she's an incredible woman, and she has done a lot for me as far as encouraging me to keep going. My wife, you never see her as much on social media. She has never had social media handled her whole life before. We're totally opposite when it comes to that. She hasn't even had MySpace or anything like that, or like a cheesy Hotmail account like we all used to have, like Dr. Love at Hotmail, So she's very humble and down to earth. And I think it's important for me as well, especially being a public figure person. But another significant part is that in 2015, after I had missed the Olympic Games in 2012 and 2014, we were doing really well. We had a vacuum business, successful, almost $1 million gross company in 2015. We're doing well, finally no more broke athlete or a broke student. We were finally doing really well. And yet I wanted to go after my dreams as an Olympian. And I told her about it, and she looked into my eyes, and as beautiful as she is, she said, Akwasi, I don't want you to be 99 years old and still be whining about your Olympic dreams. Let's go for it. So she's the one that encouraged me to go after my third Olympic attempt. And because of her, I'm speaking with you today.
Erica, that's the name, Shields Frimpong. And there's
Yes.
another beautiful photo of all three of you.
Her Ghanaian name is Ajua, so.
Ajua. Okay.
So.
Oh, wow. It's just a beautiful thing to see. Beautiful, beautiful. So all this is at what, Utah?
This was the family picture here in Utah at one of their canyons. And here, Ashanti with her soccer. She plays soccer in the summer. So this was us posing at her soccer training.
Okay, all right. And the hope for change is now. I wonder what this was about.
Obviously, we have been facing not just COVID, but also recently the whole movement of Black Lives Matter and bringing the whole change, to light about, equality and acceptance and things like that. And it's a big topic all over the world, and especially in America as well. So we definitely went out there with Ashanti to show her the importance of coming up for yourself, coming up for what you stand for. So we went out there to demonstrate as well and to show our love for the Black Lives Matter movement. For us, it's all about change and the hope for change.
Wow. Well, okay, so from your perspective, I mean, going forward, how is this world going to be shaped, especially with this pandemic and how it's affected things? Now, you can't even get close to somebody, and you need to stand social distancing and all these things that keeps coming our way. How do you see the sport going forward? Are we ever going to get back to those old times where we could just mingle, talk to people, and definitely feel a sense of community and a sense of family?
Definitely, it's been hard not to be able to be close to friends and family and be able to have the chit chat or the fun dinner or the restaurant, meeting together. We need that in life because it definitely makes it tough on people and mentally. We've definitely noticed it even much more so, how important it is to stay in touch with friends and family, especially this moment. I'm not a scientist, so I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I do pray for better days to come, and definitely also, rest in peace for all those people that have lost friends, family, and stuff like that around this time. It's been devastating and tough for the whole world. We all feel the same. That's it's hard, but also very unique for the fact that we all feel what's going on around the world. And I pray for better days. And I know that, again, God has his plan, and I pray that we'll soon be able to get to normal and be normal again. But most important, that we learn from this as well, that we continue to clean our hands, wash our hands, to be able to cough in our elbows, to be able to do the right things so that we don't encounter this kind of pandemic again. 100 years ago, the Spanish flu happened. We did get over it. We did get through it. And together, we stand strong, and together we can make it happen.
Okay. So what will be your word for the younger generation? I deal with a lot of school boys and girls. We have this program, go out there, try and mentor them to combine schooling and sports. And a lot of them come to me, hey, I want to go to the Olympics, just as you. I've been there as a press attaché and things like that. What will be the keys you're going to leave with us on this program?
The first thing is setting goals is not the problem. The challenge is sticking to your goals. The challenge is never giving up. And the challenge is to persist through challenges. Because a lot of time we set goals, we have big goals, big dreams, we put on the board, or we dream about it, or we talk about it, or in December or January 1st, everybody's going to have the goal of, I'm going to work out and get ready for the beach and this and this and that, right? It's easy to just call it, just say it. The challenge is sticking to it day in and day out, getting out of the bed on moments that are hard. Believe me, we all have those tough moments. Sometimes you want to lay in bed. It's nice. It feels good. I don't believe I've done it before. I'm not going to say I'm perfect, but challenging yourself to be better every day. Challenge yourself to go through the challenges, to go through the obstacles, because at that end of that, you only come out much better. So again, setting goals is not a problem. Sticking to the goals is a challenge. So you have to persist. You have to never give it up, and you have to have self-discipline. that's how you're going to meet your goals.
Okay, so what next? When does the season restart for you? With the next Winter Olympic Games still on the horizon for you?
It's going to be a big season, and it's going to be one that we are going to watch very close.
Yeah.
Of making it or not making it. I always say when I make it or not if I make it. But it's right now. I've already started with the pre-off season where I'm really working on my injuries, making sure that I don't end up with big injuries during the Olympic season. So I'm training differently. I've hired a team that I'm working with in Europe as well, a whole team that is working with the program to kind of get me ready to get my body function the way it needs to function so that I can be ready for the bigger off season. I hope to, you were the first to know this. Nobody knows this, but I hope to move to Russia for like 3 months if I can get the money together to train with the team in the summer, because the push of our sport is like half of the work. Okay. So I want to be able to learn how to push faster. I need to push like 2, 3, 10 faster. So the Russia team is some of the best, maybe even the best push athlete in the world. So I hope to move with my 2 kids and my wife there for a couple months. Wow. It's going to be expensive. So I'm looking to be able to get the sponsorship together, but it's going to be crucial for this year as well. And then October, November is when the season starts. And I'm going to do about 10 races, but only the top 7 will count towards the points of the Olympic Games. So by January 16, we will know if Ghana is going to attempt its 2nd Winter Olympic Games or its 3rd Winter Olympic Games, but its 2nd in skeleton, and if Africa is going to go after that medal that we need so badly.
Go for it. Have you ever spoken to Kwame Nkrumah-Acheampong, the first Ghanaian at the Winter Olympics in recent times? Do you guys talk?
Yes, I think, first of all, I met Mr. Kwame Nana. I met him in Ghana. I was at DSTV. And I was there to meet, the managing director there, the MD, and they called Kwame to come in. They had a surprise for me. So Kwame came in. I was there with my wife because my wife went with me to Ghana for her birthday, and this was in 2019, not 2020, 2018, I think. And it was so much fun to meet the man himself in real life, because he has really showed that it's possible. Because when I wanted to go for Ghana, I read about him as well, and I realized that I was inspired by his story, knowing that somebody has already done it. Yeah. And if he can do it, I can do it. He gave me that motivation that I can do it as well. But I had never met him before, so I met him in Ghana last year, and then we've been in touch. We message here and there. I think about a month ago during the season, I was in the plane and we were messaging on WhatsApp. So he's one of my mentors now as well, and I'm really grateful to know this legend and to know this humble person. And I'm grateful for what he has done for Ghana. And I hope that I can continue what he has done and to also inspire the next generation to keep it going.
Okay. Is there any other thing I've not touched on? Maybe last words?
Continue to do what you're doing for sports, for Ghana. And I think it's very important. I think that we have a lot to give. I think it's very important for us to have people in place who love sports and who wants to really help sports to the next level. We have so many great talents, and we really need to be able to help develop them, give them the support they need so that we can show the world what we have. Look at what I'm doing right now. I should not be the only one on that world stage right now. Obviously, we have soccer and other sports as well. We have boxing, but we also have swimming. We have so many different things that we can show the world what we're all about, and also inspire people in Ghana as well to use sport in a positive way, especially right now with the pandemic as well. So we need to all come together. We are stronger together, and we need to take Ghana to the next level. Sky's the limit, Ghana to the world.
And Akwasi Frimpong, thank you so much. A man from Amakum, Kumasi. There's the Amakum angle. I never really knew about that, and I've gotten to know a lot more about you today. And I'm sure it's really sunk in well with everybody else who's watched it. This has got to be an inspiration. You never got to, say, I'm not going to be able to do this. Set the goals, get at it, and keep going at it. And then, as he's been able to go to the Olympic Games, you never know. Of course, we'll be going to the moon. We're going somewhere else,
Why not? Why not?
Yeah.
Anything possible, so long as you're willing to work for it and believe in yourself.
Yeah. So we'll keep going at it.
Have the like-minded and the right people around you. Very important as well. Very important.
You just have the right things, right ingredients in place. And family, I think, is one of the key things. Having a good wife, taking care of things at home and giving the support. And so, I mean, we're so grateful. About 2 weeks ago, I got in touch with Akwasi, and here we are having this interview, and he's just made this very seamless and very easy for us. Thank you so much again.
Thank you so much. So much love, Medasi. Yamin Shao.
All right, Yamin Shao also. Okay, on behalf of the crew,
I'll try to take a screenshot.
Okay, all right.
Instagram, maybe, yeah, so I can post it in just a little bit about us having our talk.
Okay.
Ready?
All right. So this very much is just going in this Instagram. It's going everywhere. So we're going to promote this. We're going to come on your way with everything that has been said today in a bit. So on behalf of the crew, LSG series, we want to thank everybody, Akwasi and your family and everybody else who's made this show a success. Say life is a test. It's our sign of Akwasi. Life is a test, life is a trust, and life is very temporal. So you seek your maker while you have your breath. Give your life to Christ. Bye for now. Bye.
Bye.